I want to see what I actually get without your help.
There's another one for you if you want to just wait and do that for the next one. Alright guys, so the same paper that you were working on Friday, let's get going. So I'm going to kick off right here on number 10. No, I did number 10, I'm pretty sure. Okay. For whatever reason, it's easier for you guys to see the problems than me. Can someone read what number 10 looks like? It looks like this, right? Lennon, you got it pulled up. What does number 10 look like? Well, come on, you don't need to talk to him then. Shh. Five.
Yeah, and then there's 2 is t plus 4.
T plus 4.
And then square.
Alright, so number 10 is actually a question I'd really love for everybody to get right. It's foiling, first, outer, inner, last. So remember you do 2x times x. And then you do 2x times negative 5. And then you do 1 times x. And 1 times negative 5. Now, you guys, on the FOIL portion of your quizzes in class, this class did well on that. So this is a part where I think you guys should really focus on correcting and understanding. Remember when you do 2x times x, that makes 2x squared. 2x times the negative 5, negative 10x. 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times negative 5 would be a minus 5. Yes, and when you FOIL, you can always combine like terms. Yeah, this is just at the bottom of the Schoology page. So there's your answer for the first one. Now, the second one is a common misconception like across all of algebra. Algebra 2 students often get this second one right. They'll write t squared plus 16 because you think you can just distribute into here. But actually, you have to go side by side, t plus 4 times t plus 4, and you have to do the same thing. You have to multiply the first terms. The first terms would be the t times the t. You have to multiply the outer terms, the t times the 4. Right? And then it's inner, the 4 times the t. And then it's the last terms, the 4 times the 4. So that's t squared plus 4t plus 4t plus 16. And always when you FOIL, this is number 10. Yeah, there's 2 of them. And number 10. If you pull it up on yours, hopefully you can see it easier than I can. So this is t squared plus 8t plus 16. Yeah. So Cameron, are you gonna take it now from scratch, or are you gonna do it with us? Alright, next one. Foiling. Okay, number 11. It was like a drag and drop. So there's 2 parts to 10. This is the first part, and this is the second part. Scott is buying a pair of cleats. They are 3/5 the original price. So I would put 3/5 in the first blank. 3/5 times the price. So they don't put the multiplication out there. It's just implied. You put a 3/5 in front of P, that's 3/5 price. he uses a $25 gift card. When you use a gift card, that takes money off. So there's actually a minus sign here. So probably if you got this wrong, you put a plus sign in. 3/5 the price minus the gift card gives you a $14 total. Next one. Are we good? If I move on? Do I need to write this down? Friday I had it written better, but hoping we can just go along with it. Okay, next one. Yeah. Gosh, this one's gonna take me a long time to go through. It's a guaranteed exam question. We better not skip it. Okay. What I don't like about it is the way this says years after 1996, and then this is saying 2000 and 2006 and 0 through 20. They're using two different increments here. So this is a fail as far as test writers go. This is confusing. I would like to label this. This is 1996, and so this is the year 2000, and so this is 2004. And this is 2008, and this is 2012, and this is 2016. So it's a 20-year period. No, you don't. So it's a 20-year period. It starts at 96 and it goes to 2016. That helps me understand a little bit when I rewrite the years like that. The company experienced the greatest rate of growth between 96 to 2000. So here's 1996. I would say at 1996 they had $20 million profit, and then in the year 2000, this says that they had. So these are going by 20s. So they had a $90 million profit. So I made two ordered pairs between these years, 1996 and 2000. So anytime you see rate, you want to think of slope formula. Or you guys can count rise over run. You can see how you can try counting up and over. I just find it difficult since it's going by 20s and 4s. I'd rather just do the math. So it would be 90 minus 20 over 2000 minus 1996. Wednesday, Thursday next week.
Yeah. We have a reading you have to say this week?
Yeah, you guys are reading Wednesday and Thursday this week.
Wednesday?
I think so. So it went up $70 million in 4 years. You guys, we don't have a calculator. How much is 70 million in 4 years? Well, think about this. If it was 80 million, that's easy math. 80 million in 4 years is about 20 million per year. So this is like less than 20. All right, you might have to do some approximating like that, right? 80 would be 20, so 70 is less than 20 per year.
I'm looking at 2,500.
Anyway, it went up 70. So the company lost 20 million from 2000 to 2006. Let's see if that's true. Here's the year 2000, and here's the year 2006. Yes, this one is true. Remember, we're trying to find the statement that is not true. Letter B turns out to be true. Letter C, the company's profit increased 2.5 per year from 2000 to 2010. All right. Because it's asking which one is not true. So we have to go through and prove that all of these are true, right? Trick question. That's why I said this one's going to take a long time, because we have to prove them all true. The company's profit increased from 2000 to 2010. So in 2000, we were at 90 million. And in 2010, we're at 80. It actually decreased, so this one's false. Did you say 2000 to 2010?
No.
No, SSE.
From 2000? Oh, it's 2006. I thought it said 2000. Thank you. So in 2006, it was 70. Okay. And then 2010, it was 80. So yes, that one is true. It did increase. It actually went up 10 million in 4 years. This is a $10 million increase in 4 years, which is 2.5 per year. The 20 years on the graph shows an average rate of change of 7 million. So if you're asked about the whole graph, even though the graph goes up and down, you pick the first point and the last point and do slope formula. So everybody, if you don't show any work so far, show work for letter D. Letter D, our first point would be 1996 at 20 million. Our last point would be 2016 at 160 million. Everybody do slope formula for this one. It's 20 years. How much should it go from this point to this point? Yep. It went from 20 million to 160 million. So letter D, 140 divided by 20 is just like 14 divided by 2. Letter D also proves to be true. So the one that is not true is letter A. The greatest profit growth was at the end, I would say. So A is false. That one took a long time, I know. Well, if you just remember slope formula, that's good. Pick any 2 points, do slope formula. Alright, this number 13 was kind of a failed question, right? It said you were supposed to graph and it didn't even allow you to graph. So, everyone got this one right, yes? Everyone got this one right. You couldn't even graph it. Before starting, it says he read 120 and 40 pages each day. If the software worked correctly, this is how you would have graphed it. starting at 120 and going up 40. It would have looked a nice straight line. You know, it would have been great if the software worked to graph it, but it didn't. 14. All right, this one, what's supposed to be graphed is this inequality, y is greater than. And I did review this with you. For this symbol, you should have a dashed line. So I went through and I regraphed this with a dashed line, and it says y is greater than, so I'm going to shade up. So in order to get this one right, you have to remember that solutions fall inside shading. Solutions are shaded. So I'm going to test all these points. -5, -3, yes, solution. -3, 4, solution. 0, 0, solution. 0, -4 is the one where you should have questioned. Right here on a dashed line is not a solution. Okay, that's what the real test is here. On a dashed line is not a solution. Um, 1, 1 is a solution. 1, -7, not a solution. 2, 2 on the dashed line, not a solution. And 4, 2, not a solution. Solutions are shaded, not solutions are white. But even more than that, it's the dashed line thing that's important. If it's right on the dashed line, it's no. Next one. This one was hard for me to see as well. I believe you guys have a drop-down list of answers, and I don't. No, you have to correct them all. So we're going to combine like terms. These were on the same side of the inequality symbol. Combine like terms. 5n take away 7n is -2n. Subtract 7. Oh, that's a 1. Subtract 1 from both sides. -2n is less than 8. And then right here, I reviewed this with you. When you divide by a negative, you flip the symbol. And so what I have here is n is greater than -4. Brooklyn, do you remember how to graph on a number line? So if I had to graph n greater than -4, it'd be an open circle going that way. So the solutions are anything that were here, and you got it wrong if you did not flip the symbol. Because you divided by a negative. Divide by a negative, flip the symbol. So it was like you had to drag and drop the answers that were true. Like all but 2 were true. Number 16. Okay, 4 options. This is actually going away next year, this question. They're trying to change the curriculum. So next year they're trying to say if a student can solve a question, it doesn't matter how they solve it, as long as they get it right.
Thank you.
That's what they're telling us that we can emphasize starting next year. But this year they want to know, do you understand the right process?
So you're telling me
next year
in my head and not put it on paper, I can do that.
well, they're saying that you don't have to show that you're going to do it the exact way I'm telling you to do it. If you can come up with the right answer your way, then they're going to hopefully award you for that. That's what they're saying we're allowed to do starting next year.
Who's saying that?
The state, the Department of Education in the state. But here, what we have been doing is testing, do you understand the right method?
Yes.
The right method for doing this is to multiply equation 1 by -3 because we need opposites. We need opposites. If you multiply the whole top by -3 and then do a big arrow over, we get -9x minus 3y equals -3. 4x plus 3y equals -7. And now you can add down to eliminate. You guys remember creating opposites?
Yeah.
Like now when I add down, I can cross the y's out. So there'll be some question on your exam asking, do you understand that you're supposed to create opposites here? So the answer is letter C. Multiply equation 1 by -3, then add equation. That's the correct process. Why are you saying that? You just had to pick one, right? You had to put them in the order? Yeah. All right, number 17 is pretty decent up until the last one. Here we go. All right, here we're comparing a graph to a table. This is f of x, and it's a graph. And this is g of x. So, you guys, I gave you graph paper for this reason. If I have to compare a graph to something, I'd love to have this graph as well. So I'm going to go on my scrap paper and I'm going to make a graph for this table. They aren't providing the graph. You have to pay attention to the names. This one's called f. The graph of f is shown, whereas the linear function g is in a table, comparing a graph to a table. So I like to compare a graph and another graph, so I'm going to make the graph of this table. The points are -3, 4, -1, 2, 1, 0, and 5, -4. So I'm going to graph it myself. If they're not going to give me a graph, I have time. You have as much time as you want. So you can make as many graphs by hand to answer questions on. So if they give you a table and you'd like to picture it, draw it. But make sure you're getting your order pairs done correctly, right? If you can't graph it right, then that's no help. All right, so we need to compare the y-intercepts. The y-intercept of f is here at 0, 1. There's an ordered pair at 0, 1 here. It's also 0, 1. If you graph on graph paper and connected with a straight line, you would have seen your y-intercept at 0, 1. So the answer here is that they are equal. The y-intercept of the left one and the one I created is the same. F of 2 means when x equals 2, what is y? On this one, when x is 2, we're at this ordered pair here is 4. When x is 2, y is 4. And on this one, when x is 2, y is -1. So for this one, the y values, this one's greater. The y value of the left is greater than the y value on the right. Here's this one. We're at 2, -1, and 2, 4. So 4 is greater than -1. Alright, this whole interval. This just means take a look at all of the x's between -3 and 3. So here's -3, and here's 3. So we're looking at like this whole area here. And so maximum over here, this graph is going up very high. This is a high graph. Over here, -3 and 3. This graph is going down. This graph is going up. This graph is going down. So we're going to say that the one going up is greater than the one going right. I haven't done 4 yet. 4 is the hardest one. F of 0 minus f of 2 on this one. F of 0 is 1. And f of 2 is 4. So that answer is -3. G of 0 here is 1. And G of 2 is -1. So it's 2. So the symbol for number 4 goes like that. That was pretty tricky. These are the y values. So we're subtracting the y values for those x values. I know. That one's pretty tricky. Moving on. 18. I heard a lot of people got this one right. And 19 as well. I think everybody's got a hot shot at getting 18 and 19 right. If you weren't like already really tired from answering questions. Yeah, when you get to this part, maybe you just stop reading. But I think everybody can get these two right. Jesse's bill is $25 basic fee plus $7 per minute. Just remember the word per means put the letter next to it, okay? Per means use the variable. And that's going to equal her bill. So, yeah, letter B. Kaylin, you're going to take a 0 on that? Number 19 is distribution. So we're going to practice multiplying by 1/2 without a calculator. 1/2 times 4 is 2. 1/2 of 4 is 2. X times x is x squared. 1/2 times 6 is 3, and it'll have an x with it. Remember, 1/2 is just dividing by 2. We got 3x squared minus 3. Combine like terms. 2x squared added to 3x squared is 5x squared. The 3x can't be combined with anything, and the minus 3 is at the end, so that's letter C. Did anybody get 19 right? You guys can do that if you guys would have got to it. Yes, you're with it. Yeah, that I told you about Friday. Did you do it? Okay. Hey, she realized. That's what counts. Yeah, it just clicked. Just clicked. Okay, 20. Same idea here on number 20. We have 15,400 people. Increases means plus sign. 325 people per year. Again, per means use the variable there. Use the letter. I put Y. Here in the options it's N. That's okay. As long as you know per means put the letter there. And we want to see how long it'll take to get all the way to 18,000. So that would be equals 18,000. Letter A. Anybody get that one right? Yeah. Okay. Evan, you got this one right? Number 20? Okay, 21. We're almost done. This one was just a challenging format. Challenging format, really. 6750 is right here. It says if the bill was 6750, how many hours? Here's the hours right here. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes for 6750. Halfway between 50 and 75 is 6750. So when I go down from here, it's at 225 because these go, it's 225, 250, 275, 3. So in here, it has to be between 2 and 2.5. If you actually put 2.25 in the slot, they marked it wrong because it didn't have the equal to symbol. No, it's 2 and 2.5. What'd you put? I know, I can't even see the right answer. I know that 2 and 2.5 would work. I don't think so. Okay, 22. This is easy. This one requires no math and no calculator. This is vocab. Domain is x values. So what's the greatest x value? It's 10. Vocab question. Greatest domain value is 10. You got that one? Did you? No. Can you remember domain means x value? Maybe. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. 23, yeah, quadratic formula. You guys recognize that this was the quadratic formula, right? So the thing is that must equal 0. Before you start the formula, you have to be equal to 0. So I would have added 8 to both sides to start. And this is x squared plus 8x plus 15 equals 0. So a is 1, b is 8, and c is 15. So I'll write the formula for you. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I would have marked off c right off the bat because it didn't have negative 8. Process of elimination takes c out. And then I would have looked for which one has 15. Letter D does. So this was really a question about knowing, first off, the formula, but second off, do you know it has to equal 0? The equation has to be set equal to 0 before you plug in. Very good, we're almost done. It's frozen. Sorry. Okay. 2 parts to this question. Rashawn wants to buy tickets to the festival. 6 adult tickets, 6A is 138. Read a sentence, write an equation. Next, 1 adult ticket and 2 children tickets is $26.50. This is a system that you can use to find the cost of tickets. Write your 2 equations. There's 2 options to solve it. We could subtract 2c and do substitution, or we could multiply the whole bottom by -6 and make opposites. What would you guys want to do? You want to make opposites? Okay. So we're going to go, oh no, I lost it again. We're going to multiply the whole bottom by -6. And then we're going to add down. What's 25? Yeah, 25 is to go ahead and solve it. Same equation, solve it. So it's -6a minus 12c equals, and I'm going to come to the side here and just remind you how to multiply by hand in case you need to. This is a non-calculator question. So let's take a moment and multiply by hand. I'm going to do 26.5 times -6. Alana, you remember how to do that? Multiply without a calculator? 6 times 5 is 30. Yeah, well, 6 times 6 is 36, plus 3 is 39. 6 times 2 is 12 is 15. So it's -159. And then we're going to add down. And that a is eliminate. That was the goal. We have -3c equals -21. Divide by -3. And c is 7. So each child ticket costs $7. Then you plug 7 in to find the cost of an adult ticket. That was the hardest one without a calculator. All of the rest of them you really didn't need calculators for. So I'm going to do 1a plus 2 times 7 equals 26.50. A plus 14 equals 26.50. An adult ticket would be $12.50. So we covered all of those, but to be honest with you, I did not teach you this last question. What? I don't have the answer on hand, but I guess I'll solve it really quick. This is called vertex form. So I'm going to find the vertex and put it in there. So remember when you find the vertex, you do -b over 2a? Yeah, that was this was 25. 24 and 25 went together. 25 is this. They went together. -16 and -2. I believe it's 221. Does it say the answer? Yeah, it's 221. I teach you guys that, but I taught you almost everything else. All right, that's it for the review. I'm going to come around and give you 2 points each.